What's up, everybody? It's Johnny and Brad, and we're back to do our movie minutes. This time, we're going to do a countdown 10 through 1, talking about our favorite films and shows of the year 2021. Make sure if you agree with us, you drop a like for us, and if you disagree, put some in the comments. Help feed that algorithm. Don't put any dislikes. We don't like haters around here. All right, so with number 10, we're going to go with Don't Look Up. So, this movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. It's also got a pretty big supporting cast of Meryl Streep, Rob Morgan, Jonah Hill, Cate Blanchett, among others. This one's about Kate DiBiase, who is Jennifer Lawrence, an astronomy grad student, and her professor Dr. Randall Mindy, Leonardo DiCaprio, that make an astounding discovery of a comet orbiting within the solar system. The problem is it's on a direct collision course with Earth, and the other problem is no one really seems to care. So this was a pretty interesting movie. Let's watch a little scene here.
And we are fully prepared to mobilize in a historic fashion in order to save this movie.
So basically, what you're saying is you're about to lose the midterms because you got caught sending pictures of your cooch to your porn star sheriff boyfriend. So now it's to your advantage to act on the comment. Right. Okay.
All right, so Johnny, what did you think of Don't Look Up? We kind of had different opinions of this one.
Yeah, I know we spoke about this earlier, and you said it was very heavy-handed and it's on the nose and it's not very subtle, but I think that's kind of the point. I didn't put them together, but you said it's almost like a successor to Idiocracy, which we'll keep churning them out until we stop being so stupid.
It's a fair point. So for me, it was like, whenever I watch something with a director I really like or like a great actor, like there's like two battles. It's one, do I like your movie? And two, what is it compared to like the other stuff that I've seen from you? Because I expect like a certain standard. So when I think of Adam McKay, I'm thinking like...
Did Vice, The Big Short.
He did
Step Brothers.
He did Vice, he did The Big Short, he did, Step Brothers.
Yeah, noted subtle movies, Step Brothers, The Other Guys, Anchorman, and Talladega Nights from Adam McKay.
Yeah, I mean, he did Booksmart, like he was an EP on that one, like screenwriter for Ant-Man. Like the dude, he's just such an accomplished director that I like expected big things from him, especially something like this where like he's trying to make a point, like he wants to be a little bit of an activist, and this was obviously an allegory to climate change and maybe even some of the vaccine stuff going on today. And like with that, I thought he would do it in a way that wasn't derivative or like derogatory or just very like heavy-handed, and that's what I thought this was. Like I was expecting more funny. I don't even need you to be like subtle, but I was expecting something funnier than what I got. And this was like a mix of like, he was towing the line of being like film director with like great cinematography and like these great actors, but it didn't really come together for me in terms of what I think he was trying to do. And also, I thought these roles, like I didn't need Leonardo DiCaprio to be in this or Jennifer Lawrence. Like there was nothing that required this like, super over the top acting where like only these people could do it. You know what I mean? Like it almost made it harder for me to like it because I was expecting some like, crazy dramatic acting.
Yeah, it wasn't really drama theater heavy. It's not like they were reenacting a play. I think the person who did the best job was really Jonah Hill in the silliest role. But I think the absurdity and the over the top is the point, because we've been having it hit over our head about climate change for years.
Yeah.
And he wanted to say, here, I'm going to hit you over the head again with climate change because we still don't care.
Do you think he had a goal in mind? Do you think he wanted to change something, or he just wanted to make a movie?
I mean, I think he'll tell people he wanted to change something, but like he's a film director, he probably just wanted to make a movie.
Do you think he thinks he did a good job of doing that? Like, do you think he changed minds? Or do you think Do you think he thinks he changed people's minds and hearts?
I mean, just by the law of large numbers, he must have changed a few. It was like Netflix's highest watched movie of the year in the first like
That's
2
true.
weeks. So 10 people had to have changed their mind out of 200 million people watching it.
Do you think that people know that it was about climate change? Because I've heard reviews of the movie and people think it was, very obviously about the vaccine. And like I listened to Adam McKay talk about it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is about climate change."
He was making it well before the vaccine
Exactly.
was even
But
created.
people think it was about the vaccine,
Yeah.
so it's like you're trying to do this, this bit of like art that is supposed to act as activism as well, and it's like I don't even think people know what it's about.
I think I'm sure it's somehow, to our point about idiocracy, I'm sure if something that's so heavy-handed goes over some people's heads, that's still indicative of the issue.
That's a good point.
I
That's a
think
fair point.
the big business aspect of it was really what nails it down to climate change, where, everybody, we'll see to the big, I guess he was like kind of Apple, kind of Google, kind of everyone at the same time, kind of Jeff Bezos, kind of Elon Musk.
That Sergey Brin, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos character you're talking about was that?
Yeah, he's just all of the companies turned into one.
Yeah. That was a great character, that guy specifically. But all right, so I think it's a fair number 10. We obviously have different opinions on that one, but we watched it, and like you said, it was one of the biggest movies of 2021, and just in terms of how many people watched it, Netflix's biggest get so far. So I think it's only right to have it in number 10. Let's move on to number 9. And at number 9, we have The Little Things. All right, so for The Little Things, let's do a little background here. It's got a 6.3 out of 10 rating on IMDb. And the stars were Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It's about a Kern County deputy sheriff named Joe Deacon, who is sent to LA for what should have been a quick evidence-gathering assignment. Instead, he becomes embroiled in the search for a serial killer who is terrorizing the city.
I'm all a friend you got. You're not exactly a department favorite. Things
just
probably
hard for me
changed
to-
a lot since you left.
Rami Malek's a lot, man.
Still got to catch him, right?
I love
Yeah,
Rami
something.
Malek.
Not that much has changed then, right?
He's like forever
I
stuck
can
in
assure
Mr.
you all we
Robot
are
for
taking
me.
a 24/7 all hands on deck approach to these cases.
Guy's a shark. If he stops, he dies. He likes to drive. Probably has a decent car, maybe 2, high mileage.
You must really like my car.
I do. How's the trunk space?
All right, so what did you think of this movie? I needed to watch the trailer just to kind of, re-jog my memory.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought the acting was really the powerhouse here. And I mean, Denzel Washington still got it, and we'll see him later on the list as well. A little spoiler alert. Rami Malek still got it. I also just watched Mr. Robot actually after The Little Things. I had watched a few episodes, but
Really?
I finished Mr. Robot after I watched this movie.
It's a great show.
It's complete sidebar. Did you see the SNL skit with like these like Twitter guys where they're just like talking with Rami Malek? He's like, I've been on my good behavior. I think I deserve a treat.
No, I didn't.
He just starts throwing stuff around, and they just go, God damn it, Mr. Robot.
I feel like I only see like whatever comes across Twitter from SNL, like that's all I'm gonna see. Like I haven't religiously watched SNL in quite some time.
So we'll look them up. Look them up.
Yeah. So
Please don't destroy.
for me, like it's almost the same thing as like Don't Look Up. It's like whenever there's somebody who I really respect and I've just loved their work, I compare whether I like the movie first of all, and then whether I liked the stuff they did before. And for Denzel Washington, it was like, just like you said, like he still got it. Like it, but in terms of like the actual overall project, it just didn't do it. I thought Rami Malek's character was like strange more than anything else. Like you brought up Mr. Robot, I couldn't stop thinking about like the Mr. Robot character just in this. Like I feel like he's just stuck in that role and he doesn't know how to act any other way. So it was that for me, and then I thought Jared Leto was really good. But he
The
didn't
right
have
amount of
to-
Jared Leto. He should never dominate a movie, I think.
So I disagree. Like I thought he didn't have a big enough part because he was so good in it. Like I was like, all right, let me get more Jared Leto. But you might be right. Like maybe more would have been too much.
Yeah, sometimes less is more, and I think specifically with Jared Leto, that's the case.
Yeah. But I'm with you. Like I like this movie better than I like Don't Look Up. So I think it's appropriate to rank it at 9 over Don't Look Up.
I will say, without giving too much away, I mean, the ending really also was a fantastic way to sort of wrap up all the, even the Denzel Washington's character's plot line from older cases and everything. It was a really neat way to sort of tie the bow on it while still leaving things unanswered.
I'm with you 100% on that. I was talking to my sister about the movie and she hated the ending, but I thought it was perfect.
Well, no, because I don't want to give away too much, but a lot of people would rather see a happier ending.
Yeah.
So it's one of like those movies when we did some test screenings, they didn't like the sad ending, so we changed I Am Legend to be happy.
Right. You and me, man, we're the melancholy boys, man. We don't mind a sad ending. Hey, Johnny, this one's gonna be fun. Let's move on to number 8. This one's gonna be fun because you haven't seen it. So it's number 8 on the list. We're going with Invincible. This is a TV series from Amazon Prime, an adult animated series based on the Skybound Image comic about a teenager whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. Robert Kirkman is the creator, and it stars Stephen Yeun and J.K. Simmons as well as Sandra Oh. I'm really interested to see if what the trailer does for you, and then I'll talk about it a little bit and why I liked it so much.
Your power's got to be due any day now, son.
Morning! I'm scared, Dad. What if I can't do this?
Follow me. Slow down. Land. I said land. Stop! Get up.
I'm actually getting used to this a little.
That's not good.
You need to be better. After everything he's done, how can I live up to all that?
You need to decide what kind of hero you want to be.
That was you in the blue and the yellow. Why don't you meet the team after school?
May we count on you in the future?
Yeah, I think so.
And bored of this.
Ooh, that's a lot of guest stars.
It is.
What I'm about to tell
All right.
you will change everything.
So I'm watching you.
So,
all right, hang on. I'm watching you. I have such high expectations for how this show went, and I was so proud of it, and I can't wait for the second season. And I'm watching you watch this trailer just completely unmoved.
because I wanted to Google because obviously it's going to be grittier and more mature.
Hold on.
The beginning reminded me of Up and Away, the Disney Channel original movie, where the family is superheroes and then one of them doesn't have their powers yet, and they're like, "You'll get it any day now."
Man,
I had to Google what that was called, so that took a lot of focus.
I'm so disappointed that was the trailer for that movie or for that show, because it literally looks like a kid's.
It looked like a coming of age story at the beginning.
It's not that at all. All right. One of my favorite scenes from this show is father is talking to the son about his overall purpose and what he means to the universe and what he means to these humans in particular. And he talks about his wife. He's like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, look, I love your wife. I love your mom. And, I love that she gave me you. And all the time that I've spent with her has been precious. But she's like a pet to me. Because they're he's like this intergalactic.
So it's a little bit like The Boys a little bit. It's
I haven't watched The Boys, but yes, they're these
Both
very
Amazon
like
Prime, no free ads.
yeah, exactly. They're these like very, badass individuals who, have superpowers and can save people, but they're also like flawed. And then there's also, the aspect of any great villain slash hero is like, okay, I kind of see what they're saying. Like, you look at great villains across, all sorts of animations, and like Thanos was a great villain because it's like, yeah, we are overpopulated. Yeah, I can kind of see where he's coming from.
He could
But
just snap those stones and create more food, I guess. But
he could
whatever.
have, but here we are. But anyway, like
then we wouldn't learn our lesson.
The trailer didn't do it justice, and the amount of emotion that was in each scene, the amount of the voice acting was incredible, which like is a talent. If you ever seen like a bad animation, it makes the good ones really stand out. So it was really compelling. Like you felt like you're watching, I don't know, it was like watching like a really good book. Like it was just worth your time. It's definitely better than Don't Look Up. It's definitely better than The Little Things. I'll leave it at that. So let's move on to number 7. We've got The Harder They Fall. So the tables are turned a little bit. I haven't seen this one, and you loved it. You recommended it to me. We've got it higher than Invincible. We've got it higher than The Little Things and Don't Look Up. Let me give you guys a little breakdown here. 6.6 out of 10 on the IMDb rating. The synopsis is, when an outlaw discovers his enemy is being released from prison, he reunites his gang to seek revenge. The director is James Samuel, and it stars Jonathan Majors, Zazie Beetz, RJ Cyler, and I believe I saw Idris Elba in there somewhere. So
and Lakeith Stanfield.
I saw who else did I see? Regina King, I believe I saw.
Yes.
So it's a pretty star-studded cast.
Open it.
Please.
Proof is a buck.
Man, old devil, this gonna be Buck's last day amongst the living.
What exactly he do to you? Call it a professional robbery.
I know who you are.
Johnny, it was a good-looking trailer. I love a Western. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, they don't make enough Westerns anymore, and I think this puts a good twist on it to make it not more of sort of, The Hateful Eight or anything like that.
Which was solid.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack you heard in the trailer, it's got a good soundtrack throughout. I'm a big fan of Idris Elba and Jonathan Majors, even though we disagree on Lovecraft Country. But I'm a big fan of both of them as actors. Lakeith Stanfield as well. Wasn't my favorite part, but a funny part is at the beginning. They're all based on real characters. So of course, after the movie, I Google all the characters. They all were people that did exist, and it's based on true people in that they were alive at one point, but they never interacted. Out scenes were well choreographed, which is really vital to a Western. Otherwise, it's not really worth watching. And it had just enough of a twist at the end where you had a little, So I think when you wrap all that together, it was one of the better movies that came out this year.
Number 6, we got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I love this movie. My girlfriend loved this movie. You love this movie. Let's do a little synopsis here. We got IMDb ranking it a 7.5 out of 10. Shang-Chi, the master of weaponry-based kung fu, is forced to confront his past after being drawn into the Ten Rings organization. It stars Simu Liu, Awkwafina, and the director is Dave Callahan.
You are a product of all who came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glenn, I was right. He's just a criminal who murders people. Be careful how you speak to me, boy.
All right, that was a solid trailer. It was reminding me how good that movie was. What'd you think of it, Johnny?
Oh, I know. It's just like a fun little reminder. Like, oh man, I got to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just as an offhand comment, I love the henchman with the mask. Like, I know he was not a big part of the movie at all, but I just thought he was cool looking.
Yep. I'm with you.
And it was, again, a little bit like I said with The Harder They Fall, rather than sort of the gunplay choreography, just the overall fight scenes, the hand-to-hand fight scenes were really well put together and well choreographed. You know, the effects, of course, were fantastic, as you expect from a Marvel movie. And I really think Marvel movies are at their best when they don't take themselves so seriously. You know, the Iron Man movies are fun, you know, the Captain America movies are fun, the first Avenger movies are fun, but they become very self-important. You know, there's higher and higher stakes all the time, and this movie had the high stakes, but it also kept it grounded with good comedic relief. And at the end of the scene is one of the funniest scenes where Awkwafina and Shang-Chi are talking to their friends about this crazy adventure they had saving the world, and they just didn't believe them. But then the sorcerer comes and whisks them away, and I just love vindication. It's one of my favorite things in life or in a movie, just when people are like vindicated.
Come across a movie like Shang-Chi, it's a complete like standalone. Like, you don't need to know. There are some characters from past Marvel movies that, you know, maybe it adds a little extra to know them, but it's not necessary for you to know them. This was a complete like standalone movie where you can just enjoy it, and it didn't even feel like a Marvel movie in that, like, there was a little bit of, you know, superhero stuff, but the story was what was important, and, you know, the vindication, the comedy, just all the emotions around it that just made it very fun to watch, very rewatchable. I think of all the movies that we've had on our list so far, this was like the first one that was like, you know, you're not gonna look at your phone, you're not gonna pause it and like go do something. Like, this is something you want to complete. It kind of sucks you in, and you just want to be along for the ride and get through it. It's like a 2.5 hour movie, but it felt like 1.5. Like, it was just really well done.